Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Thursday, February 16th, 2012. There's a lot to cover, so let's get right into these charts. We're going to start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. You will see that they are trading lower by nearly 6 points today, around that 1336.50 level. Once again, the U.S. dollar index is surging higher, getting a nice pop in the dollar today. Dollar is strong, moving up to highs, and that is putting pressure on the S&P 500 futures. Now, yesterday the market did make a little bit of a reversal sell-off toward the latter part of the day. This is a little change in character. We have not seen this happen in the markets really since December 19th. So once again, markets are coming under pressure. Dollar is showing some strength, and that's all it takes. A little move up in the dollar, you'll see everything start to deflate, and that's exactly what's happening this morning. So we do have the S&P down. If you look at gold today, gold is down sharply. Let's take a look at the GLD. You'll see the GLD trading around that 166.69 level. Yesterday the GLD closed at 168.10. So pretty good little fall for the GLD there. You'll also notice SLV, which is silver, also trading down around the 32.20 level. Silver closed at 32.45. So you're seeing how things start to deflate whenever the dollar is stronger. You can even take a look at crude today. Oil is down nearly a point on West Texas crude, WTI, trading around the $100 and make it 101 level, but it is pulling back. Let's take a look at the USO this morning. You'll see the USO closed yesterday at $39.18. This morning is trading at $38.78. So once again, the dollar is stronger. The markets will deflate, and that is exactly what we're seeing so far today. Now, does it last throughout the session? That's the million-dollar question. Just watch that U.S. dollar index chart and remember the markets, and most commodities will trade inverse to that dollar. Okay? All right, there's a lot to cover today regarding news out there. You did have Moody's come out last night, I believe, I believe it was last night. They warned that they could downgrade 17 large banks, Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse, UBS. They're all included. I would expect Goldman Sachs to be in there as well. So it looks like they warn that they may downgrade the credit ratings of 17 large banks, and we'll have to see if that comes out, if that does occur. Once again, you're seeing more and more downgrades come out on these large banks, and the banking run has the banks have had a tremendous rally in 2012. Now they're starting to simmer down a little bit, but the charts are still holding up okay at the moment. We will have some data out this afternoon. You're going to have housing starts, I believe. You will have PPI data, I believe, out at 8:30. I'm filming this, recording this video right now at 8:15. So just realize you will have some data coming out. You will also have the non-farm payroll report out at 8:30 as well. So there's going to be a lot of data being released a little bit later today. Now, let's take a look here at a few different stocks that we have in the news. There's a lot of stocks today. There's a lot of big movers. I can only do a few because that's all the time allots us to do. But I'm going to start off with Blue Nile. Okay, everybody knows this company. This is where you buy your wedding rings. Blue Nile is just getting annihilated. Big move down after earnings. I guess the company reported worse than expected earnings. The street did not like it. Took the stock down to 28 bucks. There looks like there's a fair amount of support around the $30 level. So I would watch 30 bucks to find some support, at least short term, intraday. If that fails, then you're going to have to look. Wow. Yeah, this thing could go much lower after this. So it has to hold a $30 level. If it fails to hold that, this is going to go much lower, 28. Then ultimately you're going to look at $25. But this is a major sell-off for Blue Nile. There's nothing pretty here. Be careful with this one because this looks like a pretty strong gap lower. Let's take a look at NVIDIA today. NVDA is the ticker symbol. You're going to see this stock is getting hit pretty hard, trading down to the $15 level. That's a pretty good little fall. Let me get my levels here for NVIDIA. It's coming to strong gap lower. I'd probably watch for some support around the 40.80 level, maybe even a little bit lower around $14.80, and even maybe a little bit lower around $14.70. But ultimately, Nvidia could flush back down in the coming days to around the $14 area, 13.75 level. So I would not rule that out over the coming days. But this is a pretty good fall. The stock will have some support, as I said, around 1480. That's going to be the level where it's going to have some short-term support. And then after that, it's really down to 1435 and then all the way down to $13.75. So that's what you're going to look at for Nvidia. Each of those levels could give you quick little scalp size bounces. Let's take a look at Amazon today. Amazon downgraded today. The stock is trading around the 178 level. This is a pretty good decline. Amazon looks like it wants to go down, in my opinion, all the way back down to the 171 level before it finds some decent support. So be careful on Amazon right now. It is holding here this little level. I have a line in there already. After that, it's going to go down, probably down to the 170, 171 area. So be careful with Amazon. Amazon is definitely getting hit today. It's in a downtrend. I don't really see much positives for Amazon at the moment, but a lot of support around the 171, 170 levels. Okay, let's take a look at NTAP. NTAP is having a nice move. The stock surged higher. That's a very, very nice pop there in the stock. I would not be a buyer here. It has a ton of resistance right around the 43.25, 43.50 levels, all the way up to around 44.5. NTAP is going to hit real good resistance around this 44 level. Watch it there. Could be a pullback. It's a decent gap. It's not a terrible gap up, but I just think it's overextended. It might even be a fade candidate around that 44 level. Okay, let's take a look at Apple Computer, because the stock got absolutely toasted yesterday. Apple was really hit hard. The stock is trading a little bit lower this morning. I don't really see anything significant one way or another on Apple at the moment. It moved up parabolic and it's coming down parabolic. So just let Apple flush. I don't really see, there's really nothing to do there at the moment with Apple Computer. If I could give you a short-term little bit of a support level intraday, I'd have to probably say it would be around 475. Watch that level, 475, if it got down there. And, I know people saying 475, that may be, it's another 20 points from here. Apple dropped 25, 30 points yesterday in a heartbeat. So watch 475. There'll be a little intraday support there. Then after that, really the big support level is going to be down at that 440 level. So, again, 475 would be where you could watch for Apple to get a nice intraday bounce, in my opinion. All right, let's take a look here at PMFG. PMFG, see what we have here. This is another one. This stock is getting hit pretty sharply today, trading down to around the 1720 level. This gap right here, though, is not a strong gap down, so be careful. This stock could be due for a bounce. Most likely, if it got down to around the 14.5 level, I think it's probably a good bounce candidate. It might even be a bounce candidate even where it is now. Just give me a second here. I'm just looking to see what other levels that are on this chart. Again, this is a very thin stock, so you got to be careful with this. Yeah, I'm thinking now where it's trading. You probably have to wait for the 14.5 level, but that's a real good area for a bounce if it can get down there. All right, even 17 is not bad, but it's a thin stock. This stock generally doesn't even trade 30,000 shares a day, and all of a sudden it's trading 250,000. So be careful. The safer play is to wait for this thing to get down to the 14.5 level. It gets down there, if you want to nibble, you could, but it really is getting smoked today, and it was already down sharply from $27 about a week ago. Let's take a look at this OYOG. I don't even know this name, but I did see it on my list this morning of stocks that are getting hit. Yeah, this one's getting clipped pretty nicely. It's going to have some support around $96. After that, you got a nice little area around $91.50. Ultimately, though, the stock could trade down as low as $80, 78, maybe even $78. There's a lot of support there, though. And this is another very, very thin stock. It doesn't trade much volume, so be careful with these names. Let's take a look at General Motors, something that does trade volume. GM trading down a little bit to 24.66. I'm not seeing much, but I would not be a buyer of GM even here. Granted, it may hold up, But $22 is your level on GM for support. That's your best bet. Gets to 22, you could jump all over it for an intraday play. I love that level at 22, and I'm not a fan of GM at all. But I like that level at $22. Let's take a look at this AEA. Here, this stock is trading sharply higher. This is a strong gap higher as well. I would not touch it up here, though. I think it's overcooked. Maybe it goes a little bit higher, maybe to 11, 11.10. This is another one, pretty thin name, but it looks like a strong gap today. So give it the upside bias to around 11, 11.10. That's where, if you own it, that's probably where you want to get out. If you don't own it, you leave it alone until it gets that level. If you want to pick on it or nibble on a short side, that would be the place to do it. Let's take a look at this TRW. This is TRW Automotive. This is actually a really, really nice gap. This stock should have strength up to the 47.50, 48 level. It was really a pretty nice daily chart pattern. I think the gap is strong. I would not get in front of this thing to try and short it. It should have strength up to around 47.50 to $48. Very, very nice move, though, and a strong stock today. So do not get in front of this one. This is definitely a strong name. Let's take a look at this ITRI. This one is trading a little bit higher here to this 45 level. I think there's a ton of resistance up here at 45. It's a pretty good gap, though, coming from the formation that it broke out from. So it's a pretty strong gap. But 45.25 to 45.50, there should be a fair amount of resistance. And then, ultimately, it probably could trade up to 47. You can't rule that out. I just don't see any more strength on this stock to get through 47. But it's a nice move, and it's trading at 45. So, somewhat of a strong gap. So be careful. Don't get in front of that one. All right, everybody. I'm going to leave it there. Way over my time allotment today. I want to wish you all a great trading day, and I will see you on the charts tomorrow. Take care.